Yeah,
Okay, hi.
there we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome back again to the Magic Hour here with Dr. Anna Stone.
That's me and Reverend Priestess Extraordinaire, Stephanie Siren.
That is me. And what are we talking about today, Anna?
We're going to talk about the great work in a less dignified manner than I did the other day on a different podcast. We're going to talk about it like the way we talk, normal, right? Like not so much academic, not so much theory, and no decorum. We're going to talk about how it looks, like what it is, what is it, the great work, and what it entails. Like, what is it? What do we have to have present in our lives in order to facilitate this, right? And
Right. And so our portion is always keeping it real.
right,
And we apply this to our lives every
yeah.
day. And hi guys. Welcome. I see people in the chat already.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah. Hi. I see that too. I just pulled it up.
So Anna, what is the definition of the great work?
Okay. Well, so it's called many things by many disciplines. Depth psychology would call it individuation. Psychology would call it, self-actualization or realization. Hermeticism alchemists would call it, the inner alchemy or the divine marriage, right? Divine union of opposites. But that great work, it is a literal and metaphorical construct that we think, anyway, it's not to turn lead into gold. Actually, that would be amazing, but no.
Right.
It's talking about turning the lead or the weight, right, of your trauma, your shit, your past, whatever, your misfortunes, disappointments, into the gold that releases you from all of that. That's what it is.
Right.
It's about turning water into wine.
Right. The chains that bind us, which are usually they come down to shame and guilt,
Yeah.
right? For the most part.
And attachment.
Yeah. Yes, attachment to beliefs and labels and the ways that we identify, you know.
Yep.
Uh, I believe that all of those things are things that we are to overcome, you know.
Right.
I mean, yes,
ideally.
yes, we celebrate our labels, of course, right? Because
I know. Well, wait. This day and age, that's a great point. So I recall when I was growing up, it was a shameful thing to be mentally ill, to have problems in your life. You didn't talk about it, right? Like that was something that was okay. And I'm not saying that that's correct either, but I am saying that there is this period of time recently when I started teaching is when I noticed it, where especially kids, teenagers are celebrating, like bragging about having disorders, mental illnesses. And I'm confused by this when I was started to teach. I was like, what? Why would you tell everybody that? And they're like, I'm owning it. Okay, fine. That's one thing, but that's not what this is. That's, you know what I mean? That's not what it is. It's called, I'm using it as a crutch. And now it's become my identity. And
right.
this is another thing that happens when people are sick with whatever it is. A lot of the times, the idea of overcoming that is terrifying subconsciously because that's their freaking identity. That's all they know.
Yes. And see, that's the thing, though, in the great work is that we are to overcome these labels that we have given ourselves because, it's a rite of passage in our adolescence when we're going through and finding ways to individuate ourselves from, say, our parents, our siblings. We're trying to say, oh, look at me, I'm an individual, I'm thinking for myself, I'm doing for me.
Some people do. That's okay. And I want to say this really quick because I think this is something most people, especially parents, for some reason forget that they were ever kids. and think it's bad. So you know how when we rebelled as teenagers, how our parents shit bricks, right? Yeah, okay. So as a psychologist, okay, that's now trained in this stuff, and I knew it back then too, just somehow. That's bullshit. It is. If
Right.
you come to me and you have a child that is just following everything you say as a parent and has zero voice of their own desire, they're gonna fail. Like 9 times out of 10, they're not gonna do well. It is imperative that children rebel, that they question and they don't just fall into the mold, right? If
Yes.
they want a successful, happy life.
Right.
So it's like this opposite we've been told, like, like, oh, it's bad. No, that's actually a sign of mental resilience and likeliness that you'll do well in life. So
Absolutely. And they're flexing their willpower,
mhm.
and they're showing
We
you,
can be dicks
hey,
about it. I mean, we can be dicks about it as kids. We are. We
oh,
know.
absolutely, but they
Yeah.
need that fight. But what I'm saying is, we already do that part, right? And we take on all these labels,
Black
right?
sheep.
That we tell ourselves because, in society, that's what we do. We find our different people, our groups, right? And
Correct.
and
Yeah.
and clutch together with them and identify with them. It's part of discovering who you are. But
Right.
the thing is that then when you get into an adult life, what you're supposed to do in the great work is now peel all the layers off,
Right.
all the labels off of who you thought you were and who you built yourself up to be, because you realize in your awakening it's all a lie.
Yeah. Right. It
It's
is.
all lies that we told ourselves to make our reality okay, because we know we're playing so small in it.
Well, I mean, some of us do. Like, there's a vast majority of people I think that never even ponder this stuff, which is crazy to me. But they're out there. Hi guys, whoever you are. Um, I mean, I wish I could be. I don't know. Actually, I don't. I don't. But it's interesting about the labels because on the other show with Avamon, he said something to me the other day that was really, I had not thought about it at all. He said about language, about how language, everything that we do, like we are here and we're all one right at the beginning, I guess. Okay, let's pretend that's what happened. We're all connected to the divinity that is within us, right? And it's not separate. But as soon as the language became a thing, we started labeling things because we had to. So like, what did he say? He said something about like the apple that Eve gave Adam, right? Like, it's like instead of being with the apple and present with it, you're talking about the construct in your mind of the apple and it separates you from it now, right? Because you have this idea of what an apple is. You can see it in your mind's eye, but you're not with it because you're thinking of it as an object. Like, it was very interesting how he put it. I'm totally massacring it, but he's right, because it's like when we start to label things like, about, what is divinity, like what is God, what is source, what's religion, like all of these things. I mean, I think that in the beginning, religion was there to help us remember that we're part of the whole,
Mhm.
but it at some point became something else, a little bit, a little bit. And, but it does serve that purpose for sure. I can say that now. Wow, look at that growth in me. I'm like, oh, religion is not all bad. Okay. So I just realized it. Wow. It
Right?
does
We
help people
need to
understand.
check ourselves as we go, really, and we do
Right.
that, guys. I mean,
And
and
that's
we do
the
that
thing.
more on here as we go, because we always need to catch our growth every
Right.
single time we have one
Right.
little glimmer of it.
Yeah. Like, for instance, a good example would be the election that happened recently. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. I do not care. I don't care. I cared so much in 2016 that I drove myself mad. Okay. The reality is, none of it matters. And if people are going to disagree with me, but the truth is that the only thing we can do is what is in our sphere of influence, right? That's it. So to sit and worry and spend all this energy on that is exactly what it's designed to do. And then we're just feeding into the egregore of bullshit, which is politics. So, like, at the end of the day, I decided this time I don't care. I don't care. And I didn't care. I can't believe it. And I was like, I detached from that. And that's an attachment that people are so stuck in, is this party thing. And I'm going to get feedback for this, or flack for this. I'm sorry. It's facts. Like, there's no two parties. It is all the same. They're all in bed together. And as soon as you realize that, the better, because you can just, just detach and do what you can on your home front. Take care of your family, your friends.
Here's the thing about this. You can look it up, and I hate having to say this, but it's true. You can look it up on the CIA Declassified.
I was just on there today.
Oh, I love that place. But you can go on there and you can look this up. It was an actual social experiment on people to see if you guys would assimilate to a group and do groupthink, and how fast you would do groupthink.
Yeah.
And how they can now put things into order in our society based on groupthink.
Yeah, that's what it's the egregore of society, of your tribal beliefs, right?
Right.
So, we're always going to be divided. Like, as soon as we believe that someone else has this opposing view, who cares? Like, that is, just tell me right now, like, there's not one of you watching that could say that they don't have a problem with some group of people that because they think a certain way that's different than you, right? At the end of the day, it's all on purpose.
Yeah.
Right? It's all on purpose. It's all designed. So when I look at it like this, I'm a spiteful person, right? I am. I'll admit it. And I use spite to motivate growth, right? Because I try to use it constructively. So I look at it and go, I'm not going to spite. I'm not going to do that for them. I'm not going to give them the satisfaction out of spite. Absolutely not. I will not. I will get along with everybody. I don't care.
Absolutely.
Well, hey, Adam, hi. I will absolutely get along with the people you tell me not to, just because you said not to. You know what I mean? And we should all be like that. We should all be defiant. And when people tell us who to hate, we should very much so question the motives behind that. Like, seriously, because it is all part of the plan to keep us from becoming more cohesive and whole. And because once we do that, like, they're screwed, right? Like, so
exactly. And it's just, honestly, that's why I stay out of politics as much as possible as a spiritual leader, because I really feel like it's not my realm. It's not my realm to talk about. It's not my realm to worry about. I worry about the things that I can.
Yep.
And I do a difference where I can.
Right, like the serenity prayer.
You know what I mean, though?
Yeah. It's like the Alcoholics Anonymous, like, God grant me the wisdom to accept the things, like the things I can, like,
right.
So, whatever that is, right? Like, it's totally true. Because we can't.
I mean, what we've seen in our world since COVID, okay, is such a I guess I could say just theater. It's just theater. Everything we're watching, we're like, fuck, this world is crazy.
That's on purpose.
Everything that we were told is not true is true. Yeah. And everything that we told was true was actually bad for us.
Oh, I know.
Like, right. How the hell did we get here?
Wait, yeah. Let's talk about that real quick. So, I don't know if you know, but the FDA, which, by the way, fuck you guys, okay? The FDA just released the new report on fluoride. It's a neurotoxin. Awesome, thanks. And it's the main ingredient in Prozac. So it's a neurotoxin that's also the main ingredient in many mental health drugs. So yay, and it also gives you cavities. Oh, surprise. Yeah, like what? Okay, thanks. And nobody's, that just got released and put in a journal, and no one's talking about it. But okay, why do I know? Because I'm a research nerd, and I read that stuff. So I'm just, this is one of those things. Like, there's a reason why they have us unhealthy. Like, I think Adam, who's in the chat right now, posted something brilliant in the group the other day that he runs, and it was about how the American diet is to make you American sick so that you'll go through American healthcare and get American medication, and like this feedback loop, and I don't doubt it. But how do we detach from these things? you stop caring. You stop giving a fuck. Like, and it's not easy.
Yeah, you just don't care. I think it's easy if you start looking through things. You know, if you
Well,
start
yeah.
like you just step back for a second and look at the whole picture, and then you'll start seeing like, wait, oh, these people think I'm dumb. Okay,
Oh, yeah.
you know
That's
what
what I mean. Yes. That's what I'm talking about.
yeah.
They think we're all stupid. And so far, we've proven them right because we have fallen for it hook, line, and sinker, like easily. So when we decide that I'm not going to listen to you tell me to hate this group of people because their God's different than mine or their love interest is different than what I think is whatever, all that is like nonsense. Like, who cares? It's all programming. This is why we call it TV programming, is because it's literally programming. And so to get away from it, you have to detach. I'm not joking when I say, I'm not trying to say don't watch TV, kind of. Uh, I haven't watched TV in years. And since I stopped, my anxiety
Yes.
is so under control. All of those things, I'm just like in a much happier place. So we watch that, we're fed the bullshit, right? All the time. You know, the news, when do they have nice stuff on there? Never.
I mean, I got rid of my TV in 2015.
Oh, you're longer than me. I have mine's for a recent, but it's market
I
change.
just felt like it wasn't necessary. And
not.
you know, the things that I wanted to be entertained by, I would. But for the most part, I am a book nerd and I'm a research nerd and I love learning. And
Okay.
so
Yeah. Well,
that's how I spend my
so
time.
there's the other thing. Blue light, right? You know, like blue light that is emitted from all our screens. Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know if it's true. I'm just gonna put it out there because I like to perpetuate conspiracy theories, okay, that I believe have some validity anyways, okay? So I was watching this interview with this guy who's a DARPA neuroscientist, and he was talking about blue light from the screens that we watch, TV, computers, our phones, everything, is saying that it causes the brain to like produce dopamine in a way like drugs would, and that when you take it away, it causes a crash with the withdrawals. And I've seen this with students. Like, you take their phone. I mean, just think about it right now. Everybody watching, think about it. Your phone is missing. Your phone's missing, and you have to go somewhere for a while. You're going to be gone for like a couple hours. How do you feel? Honestly, don't lie. You know? Yeah. You know, you're
I'm
stressed out,
I'm
right?
more stressed out with my phone though. However, though, I'm the type of person to keep my phone on silent
No, that's not the same thing. It's you know how
and
those people that can like just have drugs on them and not do it, you know, just because they know they have it. Same
yeah.
thing, like that. It's like so. It's like an addiction. So this
Oh, like an impulse. Okay. I did read something about that where it was also that's why they have it scrolling because it's like a slot machine.
Oh wow, I didn't think of that. Wow,
And so it
interesting.
gets that part of your brain that's like it gets
The
that
reward
and
thing.
that reward portion of things.
Interesting.
And then it
Right.
hits your instant reward.
Right.
And then you know what it does to you? It shrinks your
Shortens
focus.
your span. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Sorry, Adam. You know, I just might have been there before. I just I know that. I know. You know, but the thing is like, yeah, like so it shortens our attention spans, right? And so then we don't have the capacity to read anymore, like and do actual, you know, research to see look into these things that we're talking about. Like because when you uncover the actual like the genesis of a lot of these things, you'll find they're all tied back to the same place. And then that's like, wait a minute. What? And if people were take the time, but at the same time, people have to be open to accepting information that's contrary to the belief they've held onto so tightly and for so long. And a lot of people are just not capable of doing that. You know what I'm saying?
And you know, that's a good roundabout back to the great work too,
Right.
because it's something that we have to do, which is called radical acceptance.
Right. Yeah. And also being able to say, I was wrong.
I
And
was I was wrong, but also this is my reality. What I'm hoping and my intent is not the reality. Right. What's really going on here, and I need to accept it so
Right.
I can
Accept
master
it.
it.
Right. Because like accept it. Like so Nicole, Rufus Opus's wife, is a sound healer, and she said in the interview we did, she said, when you're in the space of acceptance, you're resonating at the same frequency of the universe, right? Like so more things will come to you. But like just think about people that have bad time, right? Like all the time. I was one of these people. I had always bad calamities around me. Why? What did I do different to change that? I will tell you what I did. I changed my perspective. That was literally it. That's all I did. It's so easy to say and so almost impossible to do. But comes a point in your life where you're so done with it that it's either that or you're just going to be a bitter old jerk for the rest of your life that's like, get off my lawn, like, that person, the Karen down the street, right?
Well, I'm going to argue on that one because I am very get off my lawn.
Yeah.
But I can also be spiritual and be doing the great work at the same time. In fact, I'm going to say I think that having really like strong boundaries and being kind of
that's not what I meant. I meant like miser, like a jerk, like just an unnecessary jerk person,
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Like how people trauma breeds trauma, like it's a feedback, it's another feedback loop. It's like that. So either you're gonna succumb and like surrender, which again, surrender is easier said than done, because it means that you have to trust something that you can't see, that you have no evidence of, tangible evidence of, that things are gonna be okay, right? But like, and when you do that, then suddenly, okay, like if I'm like living in everything sucks, the world sucks all the time, my brain is scanning for proof of that, right? And it's gonna find it everywhere I look. Turn the TV on, there it is. Look at the newspaper, there it is. Look at the internet, there it is. Everywhere. Okay. But if I am in the energy of like, you know what? Things are lovely today. And I look outside and I see the sunrise or I see some flowers, whatever. Suddenly my brain's seeing the positives and not the negatives, because in the actual truth, our perception, I've said this 1,000 times, our perception creates our reality. So if we perceive everything shit, shit.
Yes, but also there's the law of magnetism there.
I know. Yeah, because it draws it to you, because you're vibrating in that negative space. So it's bringing negativity to you, just as you were asking for, and likewise with good things, right? So that part of the great work is to get into a space where, despite what's happening to you, you're able to be grateful regardless, because everything that happens to you, no matter how horrible, and it might take years for you to get there, but there's a lesson in it, and there's a way to benefit from it in some way, shape, or form, even the worst things. And it can take years, decades, whatever. But at some point, you got to be able to look back and say, okay, what did I take from that? Was not negative. Resiliency, empathy, all of those are steps towards the great work, right? But the great work is it done ever?
No. If we were done, we'd go poof. That's it. We would stop. We would cease to exist in this plane of existence here. We would be done doing our work here, because it is our work here.
It is. Because I'll say that when I died, like I had no emotions. Like there was none of the human things other than it was just lovely, like just very peaceful. That's it. There was nothing else. Like there's no, like I always like try to convey it, like there's no capacity to lie. There's no capacity to harm, because it's not a thing that exists there, right? So that means here, that is what we're doing. We're experiencing emotions. That's a human thing, right? Like, and that's what we have to do. So of course our life's going to give us all of a range of emotions, right? Because we have to learn to accept them instead of fighting them. And sometimes it sucks.
Well, emotions are messengers, and so if we get still enough, instead of getting all this outward distraction going all the time, if we actually sit in the discomfort, then we're gonna learn something from it.
Yeah, the being present. thing.
Yeah. And also, you can actually feel a difference of when you're sitting in your body and you're not sitting in your body.
Yeah. What does it look like? Okay, I'm sitting in my body, and what's going on?
You're sitting in your body and you can feel your hips relaxing. You can feel your butt unclenching because everybody has a natural a default of just clenching their butt cheeks. Everyone in the world. And it's just true. It's true. And I actually teach everybody about that in my classes on Wednesdays. But dropping into the body, you're actually visualizing, you're feeling yourself, like your soul just drop into, especially your diaphragm, then pulling it down into your abdomen and then down into your root chakra, and really just feeling it like spread to your hips. That's how you know you're dropping into the body, when you
Right.
feel the sensations of your whole body.
Right. And
Because a lot of times we're white knuckling it, tight buttholing it, just that's how we're facing life,
yeah.
cleanse.
Well, I mean, I think one way that is really easy to describe not being in the present is, what am I going to make for dinner? What about tomorrow, that meeting I have? What am I going to say? What am I going to wear to work tomorrow? All of those things. Because again, like, we got to remember that the past is a story. The future is not real. The only thing we have is now. However, the way that life is organized here on this plane, material plane, it is almost nearly impossible to do that, because everything is based on a schedule. Everything's based on time. Time ain't real. Like, I know that sounds so educated, like so educated, okay? But it is not. Like, it I don't know how else to say it. This is a construct we've created. Like,
We did.
literally,
We absolutely did. It's a measurement, is what it is. It's a measurement of one place to another. That's all it is. It's how to get from one place to another, is because time, time plus what? Geographically where it is, the event, it's how to get from one place to another. But other than that, like, what is it, Anna, that gets us really one place to another in the universe?
thoughts.
Yes.
I mean, like, when I died, I traveled at the speed of my thoughts. Like, so whatever I thought about, like, I went to visit my daughters, I was instantaneously, before I was even done thinking about it, I was there. Boom. Hundreds of miles away, just there. That's what is actually the currency, is thought. That's what it is. And if you think about, like, the laws of thermodynamics, or of energy conservation, like, energy can't be created or destroyed, right? What's our thought? What are thoughts? They're energy. They're quite literally ions, like sodium ions in a sodium channel in the brain, which is crazy. Okay, just think about that. Your thoughts are made of salt. That's facts. Salts are what? Conductors of electricity, right? So we're electric. These are energy that we didn't create. Interesting. We don't create it somehow. But it can't go away either. It goes somewhere else. Where does it go? Right. So our thoughts are eternal, like, they're forever somewhere out there. So, like, just think about all the negative stuff going on all the time. People, like, when people say bad, like, when you're focusing on someone you don't like very much, and you're thinking negative thoughts, like, oh, I hope that they rot in hell or whatever, you're putting that out there, quite literally out there, just, and adding to the collective unconscious of bullshit, like, of negative stuff.
That is such a good point. Oh my goodness. So I actually just encountered this. Okay. So as an embodied witch, like, I feel like it is my responsibility to always either handle what's coming out of my mouth, or put it in a jar, or put it on my altar and let go of it. But I can't store it. Right?
Yeah.
Because that actually creates more illness. It creates more bad things happening.
Yes, it does, to keep it in, right? So how do we do that? How do you achieve that? So I think it's pretty simple. It's like, when you catch yourself in those moments where you're just, like, cursing the universe or people or whatever, you, like, get that out, and then you say, I wish them well. I wish them the best because maybe their life sucks and maybe that's why they are the way they are. And you try to look at it from a lens of like people have stories and backgrounds and everybody has their own traumas of nonsense that they're dealing with. And some of us don't handle it as well as others. And they put it on other people, like bullies, or, like classic case of bullying kind of thing. You wish them well and hope that so you transmute the negative thought you had. And then that I think goes and kind of attacks it, the original thought, and like kind of takes it over and like coats it with kindness. That sounds so lame. But like I'm serious. That's what I see in my mind's eye right now is like this, like you said these nasty things and now you're like, you know what? Okay, that's really petty or beneath me. I'm not in this vibe. And then when you do that, it like goes and finds that thought you had and kind of like cradles it and transmutes it right into something less.
Absolutely, but I think it also comes into play now the be about what you're about, kind of thing. Like walk your talk. And so like I practice that,
I do my best. I mean, I do my best. There are times where I fail at this. I think everybody does. But
Right.
the idea is that, and it's like when no one's looking, that's the most important because it's always people doing the show, right? Like, oh, I did this, I help these people, whatever. It's like, okay, but what do you do when no one's watching? And, like
Yeah.
seriously, because it's easy to say, oh, I had a bad day, whatever. And I, go to church on Sunday and ask for forgiveness. But right there, you're abdicating your own personal responsibility for your part and everything by saying, I give it up to some other thing. It's like, it's you. You are it. Like, it's all of us. And we all are responsible for everybody else's well-being in some way, shape, or form because we don't live here alone. No matter how hermit-like you are, you're relying on other people in some capacity for something, whether it's the trash being picked up or the sewage getting taken out of your toilet or water coming into your pipes. Like all of that is other people's jobs, right? Like, so to sit here and think that it's all about me is ridiculous. Like, but it's easy to get there. It's really easy when you feel like the world's against you, right? And it's also very easy when you seem to have a history of people taking advantage of you, which is something that people like us experience a lot in our lives. And then we also have this issue with setting boundaries because it seems like we're being mean, right? Okay?
Right.
It doesn't seem like alignment with the great work, right? To say no and to be like hardline about it.
Actually, I argue that it's very aligned with the great work to have boundaries because when you understand the law of one, divine oneness, okay, you understand that you are but a vessel for divine energy.
Right.
Which means that your soul is divine energy, which means that you are treating it as the divine that it is, right?
It doesn't deserve to be treated like crap, right? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
So no matter what deity you believe in, no matter what god or goddess or what energy or universe or god, or you know what I'm saying, no matter what you believe in, it's all the same thing of it demands respect.
Right. Yeah, it does. And there's people that are
and so you demand respect.
Oh, you cut out. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, I said, and you are a part of it, so you demand respect as well.
Right. Yeah, like being a doormat is not helpful at all. So we got to have boundaries, and we also have to have limits on just how much we exert ourselves and things like this, or put ourselves out there. Because if we're overwhelmed, we can't help anybody. So self-care is highly important. And another aspect of this is like, okay, we have bad people that come into our lives. It seems like sometimes they're here to throw us off our path on purpose. I really believe that. I'm like, I feel like things sometimes get spit at us, like to see if we're about it for real, And if you look at it that way, it's easier to overcome it. But then if you're just like, God, why do these people keep doing this to me? It's like, oh no, they're trying to see if you're really about your path, right? Okay, but one of the things that's really important is to get with people that don't do that to you, right, Stephanie? And you were talking about this earlier before we went on live. Tell me about that.
We were talking about how we had each other's backs and how we had we had each other's backs behind each other's backs, like when
Right.
nobody was looking. It
Can I
just
say, I'm just gonna brag about you for a second, okay?
okay.
So I have had, I don't care who hears this, I've had shitty friends my life over, like people that like just turn on me or for whatever reason, and I've literally never done like anything to them to do that, and always disappointed with that, like the outcome of friendships. Never, people talk smack, whatever. I don't know why. I don't really care. But a couple years ago, I had this person in my life that was beyond toxic. And this person did some messed up stuff to me and then went online and was like talking mad smack about me, like to the groups that I brought them into. Like I brought them in and then they were just talking all this smack and getting all these people going that don't know me. And Stephanie here, someone sent me a screenshot of this post and I was reading the comments and they were all horrible, like, oh, screw her, she's a bitch, like totally like they don't know what they're talking about at all. But like, okay,
They
I
don't
was
know.
hurt by it. And then I see Stephanie's comment and it's like, what are you doing? We don't talk about her like this. What is wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. Like just going off. And I'm like, you need to remove this right now. I'm kicking you out of this group, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, wait, what? Did someone just stick up for me? Like I was shocked by this because it never happened. And it wasn't something, so she knew I was blocked from this person's post. I couldn't see him, and so someone else had sent me the screenshot and I texted her. I was like, girl, I just saw what you wrote. Like I was in tears. I was like, oh my God, somebody actually has my back. Like, because I didn't deserve what was going on at all. Like, like just unequivocally bullshit. Right. And
it was absolutely
ridiculous. It was, yeah. And, says more about him than me, but like, it still hurts. Right. And she had my back, dude, when I wasn't watching. And that was like one of those things where I was like, oh crap. And that started to change my whole thinking about having female friends. Because up until that point, I was still wary of trusting other females because of my past experiences, right? But this is that part where I was talking about being willing to accept new information that may not jive with a belief you've held for a very tightly and for a very long time, which was girls are bad. Like girls are not good friends. Because that's what I had in my head for decades until this happened. And it started to shift my perspective and then let me be more open. And now I have amazing girlfriends.
yes.
Yeah, so sorry, I had to brag about that because I was like, that means so much to me. Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. When I say I'm somebody's friend, I believe in them. And that's it.
Yeah, not like that's not common, I feel like.
It's not, and it puts my heart on my sleeve and I get it trampled a lot.
Yeah.
And that's why I did hold the same belief, which was, you can't trust girls, they're going to hurt you. I mean, I've had relationships end because women didn't want me around their husbands. I mean, it's the most petty crap I've ever heard of.
Yeah, like not my problem. That's your guy's problem.
I'm like, why would I want Stanley? Seriously, come on now.
I know.
You have to water him. You have to feed him. I don't care. I don't want that. My life is fabulous. Why do I want your guy? Come on.
Hi, Bradley. Hi. Welcome. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. So this is important. So you can't have any like you can never achieve the great work if you're surrounded by people that are going to be talking about you behind your back, that are going to be in competition with you and not supporting you. Like you have to have people that are in the same kind of alignment on a spiritual path and on a personal goals kind of path too. Because, if you're trying to better yourself, you have friends that are not, like they're going to eventually start resenting you or, like that's just facts. So you have to make sure you're aligned with other people that are like you, but you also have to have people that are willing to talk tell you when you're being bullshit, right? Like,
Yes, oh my goodness, I think that is so important, especially when you're doing the great work, to have a coven, at least 4 people that, or 3 other people other than yourself, just to keep yourselves like in check about things, just reals.
right,
Somebody who's going to tell you, hey, wait, and I know several people in my life who have done that for me, and you and Abamon are 2 people who have actually
right.
really
We'll
shown
say
up.
the things.
You guys say the hard things that I need to hear that a lot of people are too intimidated to say to me when
Right,
they realize it.
right.
And, some of them can't because maybe they're not in a position to, or they don't even see it. But you're so close, you do, and
Yeah,
what we're working with
right.
here.
Yeah. And there's
And
a difference between the people that are like spiteful about it though, and the people that are doing it because they see something better for you, or like they want you to be better. You can tell the difference very easily. It's like if they're getting a kick out of it, like, it should be not fun to do, right?
well,
It shouldn't be fun.
somebody that's on this path, I mean, if you're already doing the great work, then you know that it is stomach churning a
Yeah,
lot.
right.
uh, and if you feel unease about it, that's good. That means you're creating change in your life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, like it's Bradley says he would like to be, or we would like to be in a coven or round table. Yeah, I was solo practitioner my entire life until like maybe max 4 years ago when I started to find the people that I needed to actually do it, because there's the danger of that too, is like getting in with the wrong group that has ulterior motives, and they're going to just end up kind of, like messing up your work. But one of the things is, I think that's part of it though. I think actually that you have to do that a couple times, because part of the great work is the shedding of all the crap, right? Like it's all of the crap. So whenever you're cycling through that process, like, that's what Rufus Opus was saying. And I love his definition of the great work, how it looks in real life, I was like, whoa. I actually didn't have words. Right. He said, well, you're just, a lot of it's lost. Like, you go through these initiations in life and it's lost. You're losing things, relationships, jobs, whatever, friendships, and it hurts. But there's a reason why those things are falling away. It's because it's not in alignment with you anymore if you're continuing on and you're really doing the work. So part of it's going to be very painful. But eventually, the goal is that we get to a point where there's nothing left to shed. And instead, it's time to focus on being present and enjoying the things that we've built for ourselves, right?
Right. But the thing is, when we say the great work is never done, right, what we mean is on that soul level, because we have decided to take this on. It doesn't mean that we're going to always reincarnate in the human body either. I think we need to make that clear as well.
Well, what about the idea that we grow in this life, even like we change? Like, think about how you were at 22 compared to now. Like, I'm not even the same person, like the way I think, nothing. So the initiations I had back then are entirely different than they are now. And it's
I
gonna, you
agree
know,
completely. I was just saying this the other day. I've been a magic practitioner for 27 years. And when I started, I was a much different practitioner. I didn't know what I know now. I had a thirst for knowledge,
right.
but I'm definitely a different person. Then I would say I'm a totally different person from when I had my spiritual awakening in 2018 to now.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, like when I died in 2016, yeah, like the person I was prior to that is not even in existence anymore. Literally, that I can't even relate to her, you know. But yeah, like this is purging the false. Okay, so Adam's saying that makes a huge difference. The intent, yeah, intent does matter. So it is it is the intent that matters. Everything here, like everything is around intent.
I agree with you, Adam. I have to say, so I run a pagan program at a Unitarian Universalist church here in the Central Valley, and it's important that we don't adopt this pseudo therapy and witchcraft belief system that is going around.
Yeah.
And really stick to our roots and what we know and what we have in text, right?
Right.
And what we have our traditions, because they are so important, and their strength is because they've been used over and over and over,
Right.
over again.
Right. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, I understand these false light people. I understand what they're trying to do, but it's also just another form of evangelism. Evangelism.
Right. Are you talking like false light? Do you mean by false light like the everything's hunky, like love and light?
Love and light. Yeah.
I can't. Look, everything has some beauty in it, even the worst stuff, but it is not love. It's not always nice and peachy keen at all. Like there's a lot of stuff that is going to bring us back down again, right? Because we have to keep breaking down to build back up stronger, right? Like there's things that are going to break us. If I pretended I was happy about everything that went on in my life, I'd be lying, and like I would just be like, I'm insane at that point.
Yeah,
right?
I've had several covens. I've built them. I've broken them down, and anybody who practices magic and witchcraft knows that we make a lot of things to build them and then break them down.
Yeah, you see this comment is great. So it says we need 5 people of the same mind and of the same accord so that we stay on track and stay on course. And I see this happening on all the grids and ley lines. We have 3 planets in our favor. We have Mercury, Jupiter, and the moon all squaring Saturn, so we can use them to fulfill our vision in shifting the global timeline. I have changed the timelines before. Dude, timeline changing I know that. Like I've done that. And that is interesting. How do you do it? How do we do it? How do we do it?
Yeah, that's interesting. I like that.
I've done it. I did it once and I couldn't believe I was actually really surprised it worked. I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, look at what we did over in the Manzanita Grove. We were able to raise the vibration there.
That's what he says. Do you see his comment? That's literally what he says. That's exactly what he says.
Yeah. It's like we've been able to do that, and that's another thing I wanted to talk about also is the integrity of your rituals too. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but there's a local group out here that does public rituals, and I felt very offended by the fact that they're cussing in their rituals.
Oh, what? I cuss all the time. Okay. Oh, but group rituals? I don't know.
Group public rituals.
Public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess that's not a good look.
As a priestess, I just felt that's not a good look. I understand cussing if you're doing a banishing or if you're doing some,
Wait, what kind of ritual are you talking about?
I'm talking about full moon kind of stuff, like it's supposed to be like what I do, which is like,
Like
pagan ceremonies and
religious stuff, like sacred stuff. Okay.
Right.
And they cuss?
And they cuss and they mix together all these different like trendy things, and like there's just no cohesion and there's no one like system.
Oh, there's not. Yeah, there's.
Right. But the thing was, for me as a priestess, I don't allow cussing at my ceremonies or rituals. I don't allow it when people come to celebrate with me. Because I just feel like it's inappropriate because we're showing respect for the goddess and God, and for our traditions and for our ancestors.
Well, also our words have power. Like, so in the Hebrew tradition, right? Like, there's this act of carving out your intent via the alphabet or the words, right? And it's like you pronunciate a specific way with a certain cadence. It's like nomina barbara, I think it's called, and it's the way you speak, right? So
Yes.
it does matter. That is because you're like in the Bible, or in the Torah, it says like God created the earth with words, like he spoke it and it became a thing. Like that is like a little, it's not literal. I don't think it's a metaphor for like, as what we say is reflective of what we're just wanting, and so those things need to be coherent with each other, right? Like those things need to be in alignment in order for us to achieve them.
Yes, and you and I both know, as practiced witches who do this actual thing, we can speak things into existence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, usually, typically, for decades and decades, 4 decades, it was all bad stuff because that's what I was doing. Yes, saying it and it would happen, right? I mean, you've seen this. When we were in Joshua Tree, how many times did I say something and then it literally happened immediately within minutes after I said it, all the time? And I remember, who was it? Sarah was like, what is going on? And I like stopped talking. It wasn't bad stuff. It was just stuff, like random stuff.
It was random, but it was funny and it was noted.
Yeah, it was noted by a lot of people. I was like, I'll be quiet.
Noted. But see, I use mine in my spells, in my
No, I know that's what I intend for, but it doesn't just end at
no,
the
it
altar.
spills over, darling. It spills over.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. And like that's something we all have to be cognizant of, is like our words matter and what we say and put out there matters. And if we're trying to do the good work by speaking opposite of that goal, is going to just hinder us and put us backwards, right?
And that's why it's so important what comes out of our mouth,
Yeah.
because it's vibrational, because we are creating spells as we speak. And we're creating our reality as we speak. So if we just tout out, again, to go back to something we were talking about earlier, if we just tout out, say, what we saw on TV or the news, we're just being a speaker box for the program.
Mm-hmm. There's like Sauron, you know, like we're just the mouth of Sauron. Like it's just like, just blah. But yeah, that mindless speaker box of nonsense. And it's but we've been great vessels for that for many, many generations, right?
Right. And why do we want to perpetuate that? Why don't we learn actually what's going on around us? Because when you turn off the TV and you get out and you talk to real people.
Oh, Lord, oh man, I know, right? Like growing up in a very conservative Central California town, okay, which I didn't even know that Fresno was considered conservative until I left. And then I was like, oh, I lived in a like conservative town. I didn't know. Then I moved here and I was like, oh, whoa. I had preconceived notions about damn near everything based on what my family had programmed me with. And I was scared of certain people. I'm not gonna lie. I was scared of certain groups of people. I was scared of certain activities, like all kinds of dumb stuff. I get out here and I work in a international, like, cohort of scientists that are from all over the world, and they're all amazing. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, this is confusing. Like, it was so opposite of what I was taught, right?
Right.
But my family had never ventured out. They're getting all their nonsense from TV and from other people that are hyperbolic, right? So it's like once you have to experience it for yourself, right? That's part of the great work too, is experiencing things firsthand.
Right.
And that includes good things and it includes bad things,
Well, and part of the great work is also emotional resilience.
Right. Right. So what is that? What does not being emotionally resilient look like?
Making excuses for your behaviors.
Yeah.
Living in your trauma.
It's everyone else's fault.
Yourself that it's everybody else's fault and that they have to fix it for you because okay, somebody fucked you up. Sure. Somebody fucked me up too. A lot of people.
Yeah.
but it's not their responsibility to fix it, unfortunately. You know,
No.
I have to fix it.
Yeah.
I have to handle it.
You know,
He's so fragile that I'm going to be victimized every time I create some sort of magic. It's not going to work. It's going to backfire.
Oh yeah.
Inside my power and have emotional regulation and resilience in order to create magic effective in my reality.
Right. This is a big thing, and this can take decades. So like I recently had one of these moments where I was like, I realized it was my fault. It was me with my custody case many years ago with my oldest daughter, who's now 28. I was in a custody case with her dad, and I went in there like, oh, I'm going to tell the truth, because I did, and I lost. And I was like, I can't believe the court did that. I can't believe that this happened to me, blah, blah, blah. And for decades, mad about it. It wasn't until recently, when someone very close to me is going through a similar situation, that I was able to see from a different perspective, from the outside looking in, and say, oh shit, it was me. I went in there thinking that the truth was going to set me free, and that all I had to do was be honest. I didn't account for how hysterical I came across, how unhinged I came across. It was the truth is all that matters. Yeah, that would be nice, but that's not the reality we live in. And now I see that it is absolutely my fault. Absolutely my fault. And I just up 2 years ago would have argued till my death on that. I would have taken that. I would have died on that hill saying that it was unfair, blah, blah, blah. Nope. It was absolutely fair. I looked crazy. I did.
Me too. It's okay.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, wow, shit. Oops. Can't do anything about it now. Luckily, it all resolved itself many years ago. But like, for the time being there, I felt like I was really victimized, but I wasn't. I had victimized myself.
You know what? There were a lot of times I look back and go, oh, I was the asshole. Okay. But that's that thing of forgiveness, radical acceptance, and moving on. It's like,
you can't dwell on it.
Thinking about you being an asshole anymore, like if it was 10 years ago or whatever. Just you.
You'd be surprised.
Well, okay. But what's it going to get? What's it going to achieve? Nothing. It's going to
have people that hate me still to this day and try to actively mess me up. And I just kind of laugh, because I'm like, oh, keep trying. We'll see if you get this game you're playing.
But you know what I mean? Like, your mind is your worst enemy here.
Oh, seriously. Yeah. And the narratives that you've been fed your whole life about how.
God, yes.
Yeah. So we are all special, but we are not that special from each other. Like, it's really not like that big of a difference. Like, sometimes maybe you might run across someone and be like, damn, okay. But that person, you don't know what karma they're working from before, right? Like, who knows? And that's not my job to figure out either. By the way, it's not our job to figure out why people are jerks or why they're assholes. You just stop talking to them.
Yeah, and it's not our job to fix others either. It's our job to fix ourselves.
Right. Yeah. And when you do that, guess what? Those people stop hanging around you, because
how about that? How'd that happen?
Crazy. I know. And then you suddenly meet people that are like cool and nice, and helpful, and it's a reciprocal kind of vibe, where it's not like give and take, like just all give or all take. Yeah. These are all parts. Like, how do we know our great work path is being, we're forging forward? Like, how do we know? Is this kind of stuff. When we start to see people showing up for us the way that we have been showing up for other people and been left in the cold, typically, right? When that starts to shift, that's a major sign that you're on the right path here, right? When it's not this constant feeling of fighting against or for everything, when it's more like things are coming to you. Not like you're just sitting on your butt doing nothing, though. That's not what I mean. Like, I don't mean like, oh, I'm just going to get money's just going to fall in my lap. I mean, maybe.
It's more of an energetic thing. It's like, don't force it. And that means like with friendships, with relationships, don't force it. If you have to force it, then you're being performative. And if you're being performative, then you have to ask yourself, where have I been groomed to be performative?
So I mean, yeah.
You
Yep.
know, yeah,
You gotta
why am
find
I
these
being
pieces.
performative? Because this means that this is usually an anxious reaction, right?
Right. Right.
Because
Or a narrative that wasn't yours to begin with.
right, exactly.
Because somebody told you that shit way back when, and you took it and you internalized it, and you made it your story. You're carrying baggage that doesn't even belong to you. You're
Right.
like at the airport and you picked up someone else's stupid suitcase and you're like carrying that shit around forever and it's not even yours. And you're paying for the fees on the airplanes, take it with you, and it's a cumbersome piece of crap and it's a wobbly wheel that like freaking sucks and like, it's like
Drop that bag.
yeah, totally. Yeah, so it's like Adam says, words matter, but emotional regulation is of paramount importance. Yes. I've learned it's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, I still learn it all the time. Uh reputations weaponized against. Yeah, I love when that happens, right? Isn't that so fun? The truth will set us free. Ultimately, yeah, at some point. Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's not going to happen when you want it, probably. It's going to be later on.
Well, it is the thing is, it is absolutely what he said here. The truth will set us free. Ultimately, what's most important is how we perceive ourselves.
Yeah.
That is of utmost important, guys, is how we see ourselves, because how we see ourselves determines our reality. So, it's which is it? Are you the driver or are you the passenger? Like,
Right.
what have you decided to be in this life?
Right. Yeah. So you got to drive your own car, man, down that path. You got to find your own way. And everyone's way is different. Everyone's great work is going to look different. Right. Because we're not the same people. Well, in this.
There's no single way to do it.
No.
It's looks as different as the individual, because we all have our individual paths that got us here where we're at.
Right. A lot of orders, right? Like esoteric orders or mystery schools will, tout their method as the right method. That's so churchy vibe to me. I'm like, no. You know what I mean? It's like we gotta like do what resonates for us, like there's a generalized framework, I guess, but like within that, there's a lot of room for modification to what suits you and your particular path.
I agree. And I think I always want to go back, no matter what, to animism and shamanism when we talk about where to find a mystery school, because that's where all of them came from, no matter what, is animism. And the thing is that you should have signs from the universe that sends you to your teacher. You should have dreams. You should have signs. You should have something that is considered quote unquote supernatural happen to you to find your gurus, your teachers, your mystery schools.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't even think that you necessarily need them, like, but it helped. Like, I mean, I got mine later in life. Like, I joined OES because my grandfather was a Mason, whatever. I haven't learned anything, by the way. Thank you guys. Nothing. Okay. Other than y'all die a lot. Okay. Other than that, nothing happening. Um, but Rosicrucians and Boda, I've learned some things, like mainly that the people I least expect are the ones that are into it, which is pretty cool. I like that. I love that. I love that, like, Judy from accounting is like a witch. I love that. It like makes my day. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know what? I've found a lot of happiness in that as well. That like my people that come to my ceremonies are people that I would have passed by in Trader Joe's,
Right. Yeah, they don't. Yes,
Ah,
they're not like, so when the first time I went and tried to join a coven, okay, was here in LA. I'm gonna talk some shit. It was at a very popular store in Hollywood that is owned by a particular actress, or was, anyways. And I was invited by somebody I knew. I was like so excited to go. Oh man, what a nightmare! I showed up wearing like a cute little sundress with like some flowers on it, blonde hair. like 22. And I walk in and it's like a freaking Hot Topic clearance sale. You know, and everyone's like dark. I don't care how you dress, but like all y'all look the same. Like, and they were looking at me and they were making fun of me. They were making fun of me. They were like calling me preppy. They're like saying like, oh, okay, whatever, flower dress princess. Like that's like, and I'm like, motherfuckers, I've been doing this since I was 12. Like, kiss my ass, you know? Like, but it was such a killer for me. Like, I left there. I was so disappointed. I was so like just disillusioned about the idea of a coven. That's why I never tried again, because I was just like, what just happened? Like, they were judging me on my
that
wasn't goth enough.
That was lame Hot Topic nerds that just didn't understand what the hell. They were just looking at it as a trend, which is
I guess. I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't know what happened to those people, but I don't care.
Yeah, it's funny because then you have the real witches like ourselves who like to wear pink and enjoy and don't dress like we have to look the part.
Oh.
We wear what we want, and we can still banish the fuck out of.
You got some shit going on in your house? What's up? I'll help you. Right? You know, like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter how you look outside. It's like what's inside, and that is like that just killed it for me though so badly. I was so grossed out by it. And then the opposite of that is the really love and light, like the I don't know what you can call them. I don't want to say new age because not all new age people are like that, but
it's not new age. It's a love it. I agree with you. It's love and light. It's like
like
a trend. It's a trend that's a blend of spirituality, but also of faux therapy.
Okay, so that's the new trend right now. That is the shadow work trend, right? Okay, the shadow work trend is huge, and as a psychologist, I can say that a lot of it is absolute nonsense and is not going to get you anywhere. The stuff that I see online, like when I go, I remember I was looking for something, like I was looking for prompts or something for shadow work before I was a psychologist, right? And I just remember reading them and going like, what? This is what the hell? Like this doesn't elicit any kind of real discomfort. That's not a word. Discomfort from me at all. This is so campy. It's campy. Like, it's like what that like it's like the idea of being a therapist, like what you think a therapist is supposed to do based on like movies or something. Not
right. I think it's fueled by social media. I think it's fueled by TikTok. Yes. I think it's fueled by Instagram. I think it's fueled by the new agey yoga movement here.
Wait, thanks CIA for that. That's another one. Y'all know that, right? I want to like give you a little info. So yoga was introduced like by the CIA. So when the counterculture happened in the 60s and 70s in like San Francisco area, like, you know, the whole summer love shit, whatever. That was like the CIA was balls deep in that, right? They were like embedded everywhere. The one group of people that they could not get that they wanted so badly was the middle class white housewife niche of people, because they know they had the money, like they know that was they had to get them buy-in on this, like to get like whatever they were doing. Okay,
yeah,
like, shit, whatever it was. And so they're like, how do we do that? They didn't fall for the drugs. They didn't fall for the music. You know, they didn't fall for the free love. What are we gonna do? Fitness, but with the spiritual side, you know. And so they bring in this fake guy. I can't remember his name. Was this Yogi what? Like I can't. This is a very famous dude. And they said he was like from, you know, India. He was like this trained like with the Vedas and stuff. No, he wasn't. He was like a con man. But like it brought this whole thing of yoga. And I'm not saying anything bad about yoga, like at all. I'm saying
I love yoga. I do yoga.
It was absolutely a ploy, right? It didn't work to their advantage the way they wanted it to. But like it started, like it was this idea. Whoever was on a lot of drugs thinking this, I guess, you know, the CIA had bought all the acid in the world. Remember that? They bought every hit of acid in the world so that they could give it to people. Just like willy-nilly. Man, those were the days back then.
Oh, jeez.
Whatever they wanted, Operation Honeypot, all that stuff, like, yeah, crazy, dude. Our government's nuts, y'all, like, for real. For real. And yeah, I said, oh, shit. I forgot about that paper I saw. Never mind. I didn't say that. Okay.
We'll have to do that on another episode later on.
If I'm still around.
We're over an hour. Do we have anybody who has questions for us?
Does anyone, you guys have questions? Do you guys want tarot reading? Like what, I gotta teach a class soon here, but I got a little bit of time.
Also, if you have any aches or pains or anything, I've got Reiki to give.
I gotta get my Adventure Time tarot cards from over here. I love this deck of cards. So cheesy. Yeah. Yeah, you gotta be able to accept other people's perspectives.
Yes.
That's the look. We're here. Let me see. Ward. Hi, Ward. Sorry, I saw you earlier. I forgot. I meant to say hi. This right here is. Oh, I didn't get it. What the hell? Oh, wait. Not that one. Sorry. This one. What the heck? Where'd it go? It keeps moving. Sorry, that's what's happening. All right, sorry. The feed's moving. Okay. There is indeed no single way to do it. We're not alone. If we want to know the truth, all we have to do is accept another person's perspective. That's what we're incapable of doing. Like, that is the thing. That's going to keep us in this place, in this low vibrational spot, because it's impossible for people to just get over themselves and their own set of beliefs. Because again, what are beliefs? Okay, science. Who believes in science? Okay, raise your hand. I do a little bit. Let me tell you something about science. As a scientist of over 2 decades for our government, science is not facts. It is a construct to understand the world better to the best of our ability at the time. That's what it is. That's what no one remembers, is that when we started off with science, it was exploring, right? Discovering. We stopped at some point and we're like, this is facts and this is it. That's not the heart of science. Is supposed to be to find things we can't explain and try to explain them, and instead we've just decided this is not real, this is how it is, etc. That's not true. Every year that I teach science, which I teach every year for the past decade now in high school or college, I'm now at college, I've had to correct myself every single year because I told them something at the beginning and it changed by the end of the class, by the end of the semester or the end of the year. Like DNA, we have 2-stranded DNA. Oh, guess what? We have 3 and 4-stranded DNA now. And left twist, right twist DNA. Like, that was fantasy last year, so it's always updating. So just like that, we have to update our computer software. We have to update our phones. We got to update our belief system. As I smack myself in the face, we got to update our belief systems as well, just the same that we have to update our gadgets, you guys. And if we're not doing that, we're going to be outdated. I like that analogy I just did, dude. That was pretty dope.
I've been sending Reiki, healing energy to Adam right now. So, and I think Bradley has a question for the cards.
Okay. What do you want to know, Bradley? Let me know your question in the chat, please. Be like on NPR. What do you want to know about the next new moon, rather? Wasn't that coming up? Or is that? We're in November? Oh yeah, it's coming up here at the end of the month.
I haven't been paying attention.
I see that. That's it. Acid with morphine does help with no sensitivity. Yes. Agreed.
Right.
Yoda, yeah. Mm.
There we go.
Bradley, is that your question? You want to know about the next new moon? I don't really know.
Like what it has in store for you.
Oh, yeah, like what do you mean?
Like ask us a specific question. We can give you a more specific
easier when there's multiple people in the area, you know? Like if you guys need to see, I'll read cards. If you have questions, post them in the chat for tarot. Okay.
And I felt it was very appropriate here, everybody. If you just tell yourselves to receive or to open, I am sending you Reiki healing energy from my palms, my chakras. They are activated because I am a Reiki master. And then this is a rose quartz that I have charged. And rose quartz is for the heart, for love. And I know that a lot of people are dealing with family stuff over the holidays. So I felt this would be healing for your hearts right now. And also this big piece of smoky quartz, just kind of running that through over all of you and just cleansing you of all the negative energy. Don't let yourself get it on you, you know. Just let it kind of wash away all the negativity, all the ick. You don't have to deal with all the crap anymore. You're not a kid. There you go.
I'm doing Bradley right now, and okay. We're doing Mercury. Are you in the Mercury spheres right now?
Ooh, Bradley, your numerology is fantastic.
Okay. Ooh. Oh, are you 8? 78? I'm 8, 3, 78. Okay. Let's see. Okay. So
I'm
well, guess
too
what, darling? I know something about you're in your Chiron returns right now. So from 46 to 50. So right now it's Judgment, 5 of Swords reversed, and the World reversed. This is 5 of Swords reversed is like this is time to stop fighting, like just put away the fight, some like long standing, whatever you've been, like that hill I said I was willing to die on earlier. Oh yeah, you might have been here. There's something you gotta, it's time to shed that so that you can show up and be King of Wands, man. Like the respect that self-made, like the self-perceived respect that you gotta have respect for yourself so that other people, that you exude that so other people fall in line with it, and being fair, letting go of any pettiness that's from the past. The 5 of Swords is always about fighting for no reason, right? Like this, the fight to fight, like that is reversed here. So that means that there's some fight, some drama, some kind of turmoil that needs to be checked out. Because once that happens, you have 2 of Wands and 2 of Coins. So 2 of Wands, obviously, new path forward, and 2 Coins, but juggling things, of course, right? Like, so let me get more clarification on this for you. Let's see, what is it? So for Bradley, what's his deal? Is a Virgo, right? That's Virgo. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, 6 of Swords. Moving on to calmer shit. So this is a cycle of, yeah, it's a cycle of closing out. Oh, the world here. Closing it out. Closing out a whole phase of life. Yeah, you're ending this that the last 30 years of shit. That theme from the last 30 years is over. Yep. Let's see. So you gotta embrace that now. Oh, you're gonna embrace that now. Yeah. Okay. So here's the thing. I just heard like it might feel a little empty. It might feel like you're used to having so much going on, taking your attention, that maybe some stillness might feel uncomfortable. That's okay. It's on, like that's part of it. Getting time. And how you're gonna Empress. Empress and Emperor's new card, guys. The Emperor and the Empress and Temperance. Those are the cards that just came out.
Say
The Empress. Empress. Okay. Yeah. So patience is key here, and this great work of marrying the anima and animus, right? Is patience is a virtue here. Patience, and you're going to be able to. Okay. Yeah. You're so that's what's happening. You are closing it out with the world, right? Letting go of the bullshit. Well, this is the reverse. You're letting go of the bullshit stuff that's been your attachments. Okay. So that you can sit on your throne as the King of Wands, right? And then you can have your Emperor, Empress, Empress, Emperor, Empress. And then look at BMO here. What is he doing? He's glowing. He's leveling up. Patience. It's coming. You're on the right. This is the right path. You're on the right path. You're headed in the right direction, my friend. It's all laid out. Remember, we never see the forest for the trees when we're in it. It's always after. So you're gonna have a moment of after and be able to look down and see.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but there's a Chris or a Craig that is talking in my ear, telling me to tell whoever's watching that they're in my ear. So if that resonates.
Chris or Craig, huh? Craig.
Yeah.
Is it old Craig?
It's not old Greg, it's Craig.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. Drinking Bailey's from a shoe.
Hilarious.
I can't help it. Sorry.
Yeah, he's yelling in my ear, telling me to talk to somebody here. But my chat isn't running on time. Like I'm having some lag.
Okay, so Bradley, like that's what I'm talking about right here. The 2 of coins, and where'd the other one go? And the 2 of where'd it fucking go? Hello. Oh, 2 of wands and the 2 of coins. So you need to pick the projects wisely, pare down, pruning. It's like pruning the synapses. Okay, it's like you gotta look for the things that are going to keep you stimulated, right? But afford you more time to have yourself time to be present and not be running around so much. And it looks like there is a new maybe a new partnership project situation that might be starting or proposed, like you might get a proposal to do something new with somebody else coming up here. And if that happens, I would look at it closely because that's indicated here. So if there's something that pops up, definitely don't just dismiss it right off hand, give it a shot, at least look at it thoroughly before you decide, and then the Fool on the bottom of the deck. So yeah, about stepping on a new going forward, but it's hard sometimes when we're so used to being go to slow down. It really is.
It's actually
when we do it, it's really nice. I'm doing it right now. And it's like, oh, I got time to do nothing. And that drives me crazy. Actually, I hate it.
I was gonna say, is she really gonna keep it real here or not?
I just hate it. I need to be busy all the time. It's so hard. I just do random shit now. You are on the right path. Yeah, you are. It's saying that you're on the right path. Absolutely. High Priestess, 6 of Wands, man. Yeah, High Priestess, follow your intuition is on point here, and 6 of Wands is leading you back home, head held high. So yes, right path you are. Just let go of whatever the shit is, though. Don't carry it onto this new chapter, right? Because now it's Chiron returns. This is where your wounded healer shit is gonna show itself, right, for you. I don't know if you know where your Chiron is in your chart, but if you do, let me know.
I want to answer Bluebird.
Okay, yeah. Bluebird, I saw something about a friend, right?
So it says, yeah, okay, so there's two things here. One is that, yes, that is your lesson. You're supposed to know what conditional love feels like so that you can detect it out in the wild. This was meant to hurt you on purpose. Everything that hurts you is a lesson. I know that sounds kind of shitty sometimes, but it's the truth.
It is.
And other than that, you're supposed to teach yourself how to not take it personal. I know it hurts, but not everybody can just, be the bigger person about things, and it's some people are just more susceptible to groupthink, and that's just the way it goes. Yeah. And when somebody walks out of our life, we're supposed to radically accept it, even though it hurts. But see, feeling the hurt and letting the hurt just go through you and course through you is necessary. Because if you don't feel it and you stuff it down, it'll become cancer.
Yeah.
So just feel it and let yourself feel it. And that's what you need to know, because there's a lot of you needing to be in the mystery of it right now and just taking the lesson.
Yeah, that's the acceptance of accepting that it has that there's a plan. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I don't know about free will anymore, guys. I don't know. I don't think it's real. I think there's an illusion of it, but a lot of stuff's probably pre-written, and there's maybe some outcomes we could take certain ways, but ultimately, so just know that I would say, it is what it is. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen. Bradley, I'm sorry, back to you again. I apologize. The Emperor and the Empress, dude. If that's what you're focusing on, then yeah, you're gonna get that. But then that means that the shit you're dealing with is toxic crap from before. Gotta knock it out. Leave it alone. Whatever shit is from the past, whatever you're ruminating on, whatever keeps trying to come back at you and cause you to break the growth pattern you've been in. No.
But then here's the thing. Then we're gonna have to have a support group formed for all of us magicians that now have to do co-regulation.
Oh,
right?
That's a whole. Can we speak on that really quick? That's a whole. Yeah, okay. Oh my god, this is one of those things no one fucking talks about, guys. So toxic partners. Okay, then I meet one that's not. One that right. Attention. That is amazing. Okay, Abamon is the shit. Okay, so anyhow, this fucker has caused me to have a whole new set of anxieties that I never saw coming, because it comes with the feeling of being loved properly. It is very uncomfortable. When you're not used to it, it feels very strange and foreign. And when it's not toxic, you're like, what's going on here? They don't like me. Huh? Right? Yeah, they don't like me. It must not, there's some problem. They're not attracted. All these stupid things.
Yes. I'm not getting love bombed. Why aren't you love bombing me? And then I realized that, oh wait, that's my toxicity there, rearing its ugly head. And say, wait, where's all that work I just did? Because what happens is there's so many things that don't rear their head until you're in union with somebody else, so that they can show you, so that they can pop up, so that you can address them. Yeah. Because we do so much on our own and we're able to, but that's the stuff that you go, okay, wait a second. This is me. Shit, this is me. Okay. I'm in relationship with myself now too. You know what I mean? Because you're not only in relationship with them, you're in relationship with yourself.
Yeah, you are letting it go, Bradley. You don't have a choice. That's for them. Not really, but yeah, symbolically. It's time. It's fucking time. If you needed a sign to know, it's now. This is your confirmation. It's time to let it go. Let that shit go. In-laws suck. I don't have any. Nor will I don't have parents anymore. So no one ever has to deal with that with me.
Right.
But, I still have to deal with it on the other side, but still, I don't let it bother me, because, unless there's hella talk there, I'm just freezer spell, man. Throw them in the freezer.
I've had to do it recently. Just put people in the freezer. The holidays brings out the crazy in all families.
That's the other thing. Yeah. Right now. Yeah. we're in a spot, guys. Remember this. Don't forget this. We're in the time of year where everyone's going to have the couple slips back. Okay. A lot of people are going to, because you're going to have to go home. See, these are things I don't understand, but I know it happens to
I don't
everybody.
have to either. Yeah, I know.
They go home, they deal with their family, and it's like all of the work that they did, they feel got undone because they're like attacked, they're ridiculed, they're criticized, whatever. You know, remind yourself, this is not about you, it's about them. And a lot of the time, people cannot get the idea they have of you out of their head from when way back when maybe you were a problem, maybe you had some problems or whatever. They'll still see you in that light. That is indicative of them not being able to get out of their own head, not about you. That's what it is. It's being stuck in the past and ruminating. And that's a perfect time to look at that as an example of exactly how to not be.
Mm-hmm.
Allow for things to change. Allow for your paradigms to shift and your worldviews about things, people, and places and ideas to change.
That's how you grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. That is how you grow.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the and also, like, Bradley, that's important, because with my partner, that wasn't even on my list. The spiritual stuff wasn't even on my list. It was just like, please don't let someone abuse me again. So the bar was in hell. It was so low. Like, literally. But to my absolute surprise, as soon as I did that work and I let go of that stuff, and Stephanie can attest to how bad I was messed up, like real bad. As soon as I did that, and I actually was like, fine, I shed it, I let it go. Dude, the perfect person, that same spiritual beliefs, same, like, we're the same person, just in a different body. It's like, and by the way, that's what you need. You need someone like you, not the opposites. That doesn't work. Like,
I mean, some things can be opposite. Let me just say,
but like the core things can't, like the core beliefs.
right,
systems
right.
need to
I
be
agree.
more.
Actually, you know what? It's funny. My current partner to a T is actually just like me in so many regards. People actually are like, "Ooh, wow, you guys kind of look alike a little bit too." Like,
God, I don't have that. I'm on, and I do not look like. But
but we
most
have
people do.
it's like we both have the half white, half, you know, ethnicity of something else, you know, that just makes us kind of exotic looking.
Yeah.
But also we have that experience of experiencing that in childhood and experiencing that in a small town minded kind of place, you know, and we also had all these like parallels that
Yeah.
definitely you needed, and also values. I think people have to have similar values.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. Like, let me just say, I didn't even know how important it was, but now I can never see myself without it. I just can't. And
I
it took me
can't
45 years to figure that out. But like, now I would never ever settle for anything less.
I can't be with a non-healer. Like
I can't
that.
be somebody that makes fun of me for doing magic and like believing in the fact that I have creative control. Like, that sucks to be you, man. But I don't want your Debbie Downer energy. Man, get out of
Right,
here.
right. Exactly.
Seriously.
And like, that's the thing though. You do need somebody like you. Like, for instance, after our first couple of dates, he and I started calling each other our battery. And it's because he doesn't drain me and I don't drain him. And
Yeah.
when we're in the general populace, people drain us. They latch on to that healer energy and they're like, give me more, give me more. I just love being around you. I've had people ask to hug me in public.
Yeah, don't touch me. Yeah, you know this.
Yeah, people do that to me a lot. And so like the first time he saw it, he was very protective of it. And then he understood what it was.
Yeah.
Because he experiences it as well. And it takes somebody who does the same thing as you to truly understand that energetic thing, that thing that you just can't explain. And to others might seem like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
But trained on what they're seeing.
Yeah, they do. You do need to have like your back like that. And the other thing too is like, you need to, it's really important, like, whatever toxic shit from a past relationship you were told by yourself, like, you're so drama or you're so this or that or whatever. Like, I get told I'm with peace and tranquility. No one has ever in the history of my life said that about me, ever. They've always said I was like the, you know, Jezebel bitch, whatever, you know, those lovely things that I ruined their lives, whatever. I did none of those things. Well, maybe I did a couple times, but like, you know, those were on purpose. That was I did it on purpose. But
Right. The natural
that can fix that wound, like of being told that you suck or whatever, is paramount, you know. But they have to mean it. They have to actually mean it. You know, it can't just be lip service or love bombing, right?
Well, here's a good one. I forgot to even share this one. Okay, so this is kind of mushy, guys. Sorry, but here it is.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So my ex-husband, and knowing me, this is kind of crazy to hear me say, but it's true, would not let me drive.
What? Sorry.
Yeah.
He was a better driver than you, right? And I bet he never got lost.
Bull.
I know.
But he was so controlling about that aspect that I just took it for granted that I was a bad driver because that's what he had told me. And he perpetuated that, and I just let it go because I believed that about myself.
Right.
Well, my current partner I always hand him the keys when we get to any car. When I'm like, we're taking a vehicle of mine, I just automatically give him the keys. And he goes, babe, sometimes I don't want to drive. And I was like, what? What? And he was like, yeah, I trust you. You're a good driver. And I was like, what? And just that alone undid the whole you're a bad driver narrative.
Yeah. So like that's crazy, Stephanie, because here's another fucking dumb parallel between us. You know how I always have to drive? You know how that is? Stephanie knows. I can't go do anything with anybody unless I'm driving my own car. I will not go in the car with other people. I will drive my car because I smoke, number one. But number one is that I don't want to be trapped anywhere. I don't like being at other people's like mercy of being stranded somewhere. Okay. So I always drive, right? Well, yes, that's what I do now. I hand the keys over and be like, here you go. You want to drive? And I just look out the window and gaze at shit, sightsee and stuff. And I can't tell you how much stuff I didn't know existed in my neighborhood because I was always driving. And so yeah, like that right there, like always having to be in control. I am relinquishing that now, and I have been, and it's crazy. It's very antithesis of me typically, but those are good things. These are all good things. It's like a little discomfort, discomfort. Saying that discomfort, but a big payoff when we allow ourselves to actually be present in that. That's a good place to be present, is when somebody's giving you what you've been missing. It's gonna feel icky at first. It will.
Yeah, and it's also because it's like, oh, this is uncomfortable. And like, I did this thing where I masked first because I was so afraid of what I was witnessing, which was such an alignment of values and energy. And I was like, how the hell? And actually I did our charts, and there was an alignment of planets that had to come together for us to even meet. We actually have a vertex in our charts.
Yeah, like ours is weird like that too. Ours is like we have matching moon born, like mine's this percentage and his is that, and it equals 100%. Like I don't know if that means shit, honestly, but in my mind it does. Because I'm she's ball now, super lame, super gushy, mushy, love sick over here. I'm gross. And I hate it. I throw up in my mouth a little bit every time. This comes out.
I'm gonna be, and I don't go to social media about my partner, and we don't share anything on social media. But we will be releasing some stuff on OnlyFans next year.
What? Girl.
But it's of our travels.
Okay. I was like, say what now? Like, no. Girl, yeah, me scared.
It's actually of our travels. We're actually critiquing places as we go, and you'll get to see us. But it's on OnlyFans.
Oh Lord! I was like, no, my eye. Oh, okay, yeah, like, yeah. But you guys, this is so the great work at the end of the day is something we're always going to be working at, because you know, like why, you know, yeah, because we're trying to better ourselves, right? Unless we're not. So it's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It absolutely doesn't happen overnight, and it's not going to be complete after something, you know, like there's no end to the initiation. It just isn't.
Never.
Never is. You're going to
Never.
go through one initiation at one point in your life. It's going to be a certain way, and you go through that same kind of initiation later, and it'll be completely different because
Oh
you're a
yeah.
different person. And that's another way to tell whether or not you're on the right path is like, how are you handling it this time around? Right? Like things will come up again that maybe you didn't handle. So that's the other thing. Things will come up from your past that you handled poorly in the past, and you'll get a chance to do it again. And this time, better make sure you handle it better, like better than the last time, right? Like that is another sign for sure that you're like on the right spiral, like it's spiraling up instead of down. And we don't want that. We want up, right? That makes
Mhm.
sense. You know what I mean when I say that? Like,
Yes,
you know? Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta get going. I have class in 20 minutes, and I gotta like get my professor face on, you know, like vibe back on, and I gotta publish my class. It's not even published.
We've been for almost 2 hours, but we've been missing this, you guys. We
Yeah,
love
sorry.
you. We enjoy coming on and talking with y'all.
Yeah, and thank you for the new people that are here. Really appreciate. And we're trying to figure out when the best time is to do it because of schedules, and my teaching schedule is about to change again because winter semester's coming up. I'm gonna have new classes. But we'll try to do something, you know, or whatever. And if you guys have any suggestions for topics to discuss, please let us know because we're nerds and like we know what we're interested in, but like obviously we care what you guys are interested in too. We'd like to know what you'd like to hear.
Think of it like the View for Witches, of course. I mean, we haven't had a guest on in a while, but we will again.
Yeah.
You know, we give us something to research. We'll research it.
Oh man, I'll be the foremost expert in the world on it. I know about it. Yeah, like that's my drug of choice is research.
Yeah, for sure,
okay.
for sure.
Yeah.
But Anna's got to go teach, and I actually teach every Wednesday. Not this week, but next week I will be teaching Wednesday night. You can find it on my website, thegypsysiren.com. I have my hot pink temple every Wednesday.
Yeah, I gotta go teach social studies right now. I think, yeah, I think that's what I'm subbing tonight for a colleague. So normally it's my day off, but not today. Because I was like, why not make more money? Like,
Right?
everyone's going out of town with their families, which I lack. So have fun with your families. I will cover your classes for you. So yeah, that's what I'm about to do. Go see my college students. But yeah, you guys hit us up. Let us know. Leave a comment. Like the thing, you know, maybe that helps.
Like and share, and also turn on your notifications.
Oh yeah,
because then you'll know when we're live or when we've listed a live to go on, and then you can come and see us.
yeah, haphazard right now, but it'll get there. All right, guys. So good to see everybody. We love you, and we'll talk to you guys later. Okay.